Welcome! Today I'm gonna glaze this huge pot, a flower pot or planter that I made recently. It's the biggest one I ever did and it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I'll try and see if I can get something good out of it. So welcome! Glazing a big pot like this only leaves me with a very few options because of course I can't dip it. I could pour it and I can spray glaze it. And spray glazing is exactly what I'm gonna do. I am, as you know if you've seen my past videos, a little bit challenged with the spray glazing because I don't have a spray glazing booth. So I'm basically spray glazing outside, which is okay if it's not too windy and it's not rainy and it's not freezing. I'm gonna do a very simple glazing on this because it is sort of a commission, a Christmas present also, and she wanted this in a very simple glaze. Basically, this clay is gonna turn darker when we go up in temperature to a glaze fire, and without any glaze, it will be this color down here. It's a beautiful dark color, and with a clear glaze, this is a clear glaze, it'll just have got some white slip on the inside, but this is just a very nice brown color. So for this one, I'm just gonna do that, gonna spray glaze it on the outside and a little bit on the inside. I don't need it to be glazed all the way in because it is gonna be fully vitrified and waterproof and glazed on the outside. So nothing is gonna slip through. And you won't see that anyway because we're gonna put a plastic pot with the plant inside. But on the outside, as you may notice, I added some texture, a beautiful pattern that I rolled on, and I want to highlight that. So I'm going to rub in some copper oxide, wash it into the grooves, and hopefully it's going to shine through with this green color through the clear glaze. So I will, as always, start out by cleaning the pot, because if you don't clean it, there might be a little bit of dust left or particles or something, and that will prevent the glaze from sticking well. So I'm just going to clean it up with a damp sponge. And of course, there's a lot of surface to clean here, but take your time. It's important that you do this step. So now it's ready to add the oxide wash into the grooves. This is a copper wash. It is very fluid, as you can see. I do have a video about how I mix them, but basically for this one, it's just copper carbonate and water, a lot of water to make it very fluid. It's a very strong colorant, so you don't actually need that much. I want it to be very fluid, so it will soak into the textures of my pot. The challenge, of course, is that when you apply it, it's gonna run. So I'm gonna turn over the pot so it's sitting flat on my table. That way it won't run down the sides so much, at least. but I think it's gonna be okay. I will then wash it off so it only stays in the grooves. So let's see how that goes. So now I'm done. I even marked up my my maker's mark here, And now it's time to clean it. I will rub off the wash on the surface and only leave it in the grooves. But first, I'm just going to clean my table because I don't want this all over the pot. I also sprinkled a little bit on the sides here, and I want to remove that completely. But basically, now I'm going to take a damp, not too wet sponge. I'm just going to rub it off like this. And you see, that way it goes away in top, but not in the grooves. Here I also sprinkled some. So I think this will look eventually good. I hope so. I don't know how strong it's going to be, but I never tried it in this combination of clay and glaze. But I think it's going to add at least a little bit of emphasis on these textures. I hope so. So now I'm ready to give it a clear glaze. Now I'm ready to do my spray glazing. And as you can see, it has been raining, but now it's not raining. And it's not actually so cold. I only have my t-shirt on. I think it's almost 10 degrees in December. That's beautiful. And it's not too windy. So it should be okay to glaze this. I will give it a very light layer because it doesn't need much of this clear glaze. And I think we're ready. I will also give it on the inside, but I will just spray the top of it. So it was the first layer. It does need one more layer. When you spray, it's very thin. With some of my other glazes, I give it like 4, 5, 6 layers. But for this, I think maybe 2 layers will be enough. I'll just try. Yeah. Sorry for the noise, but that's my compressor. I know some people use electric spray glayers, and it works great for them. I just have a compressor and I use it for other tools too. So I like that. I think this is enough. I would rather have too little than too much, because with this clear glaze, and I think it's typical for many clear glazes, if it's too thick, then it becomes milky, and that looks awful. I just wanted to sort of glaze and sort of give it a surface. And if there's some areas where it's a little too thin, it will be okay, I think. Anyway, I think this is done. I just need to clean the bottom. The last thing before I put it in the kiln is to clean the foot rim. I already did some of it. It's very easy because it's such a thin layer of glaze. I just wanted to have a little bit of a contrast. It's not that this glaze is runny or anything, so from that point of view, it shouldn't be a problem. But I think the contrast between the glaze and the unglazed clay will look good. So now just check the bottom. It should be fine. Yeah, there's nothing there. So now it's ready to put in the kiln. Good morning. I fired the kiln overnight and now we look at the result. It actually came out pretty well from the first look. But let's go inside and take a closer look. Now I got inside with the big planter or flower pot. I'm not actually sure what it's called when there's no hole in it. It's just to cover up those ugly plastic pots that you get your plants in. And I think it turned out nice. There's a few. I like this brown. It looks very old-fashioned in a way with this brown surface. And it's nice that I glazed it very thin So it's not like a super shiny, thick glaze layer, but it just gives it this, this finish that I like. One thing that didn't come out so strong was the oxide wash that I applied in the texture. But it's still strong enough. It still stands out, so it's okay. I could have used another colorant, maybe a cobalt-based colorant, but I wanted that green look, and that didn't come out so strong. So maybe I will experiment with different ways of doing that in the future. But I think it comes out great. Now, for the final test, remember, this is the pot that I was aiming for. And I wasn't sure how much bigger to make it, because there is a shrinkage rate, of course. And for this particular clay, up to glazing, it's about 10%. But it's not in all directions, and it's difficult to calculate. So I made it just, I wanted it to be a little bit higher, and I wanted it to be wide and deep enough to cover the pot. So let's see if it still fits. It does. As you can see, it's hidden. You don't see the ugly plastic. It's only the stoneware pot you see now. So it works. It's a little bit tight. It could have been a centimeter bigger. That would have been good. And it could have been a couple of centimeters taller. That would have been even better. So the next one, I'm going to do that. All in all, I think it came out well. And I think she's going to be happy with this. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, please share, comment, subscribe, so you'll be notified about new videos. I have a lot of new videos coming up in 2024, and I will try and publish them every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central European Time. So until then, have a great day.